Um, what's an autism mask? That is a great question. And the best way that the autistic community, I think, has come up with a good metaphor for non-autistic people to think about it is as if you were using your customer service voice all of the time. So you're constantly regulating, and when I say you during this whole entire talk, I'm talking about me, though I think this is a relatable autistic experience. When you're interacting with someone, a response comes to mind. But as a child, when you say the responses that make sense to you, you're often told that you're rude, or that you're mean, or that you did something weird. So you learn to create what we call a mask, which is basically the right responses. I talked to an autistic friend recently about the word died versus passed, which is another good example. If someone dies and you're in a group full of autistic people, everyone's probably just gonna be like, well, they died. But if you're in a room full of non-autistic people, that can make them uncomfortable. They seem to like metaphors and other phrases that help almost like rhythmically comfort them, or who knows, you guys tell me why you do it. But they use words like passed away, or gone to a better place, or, you know, gone to be with grandma. Something about just saying, hey, he died, is too blunt. And that goes like across like basically every social interaction that I've ever had. So you learn to, as you're talking, very quickly hear your actual response, who you actually are in your head, and then modify it very quickly to make sure no one around you is uncomfortable, because in the past, making people uncomfortable has caused pain or trauma or something along those lines. So when you're talking to autistic people, you're usually they're usually trying to be like a model citizen. That's kind of what a mask is. It's, wait a second, what do you want me to be? Okay, I'll do that then, even though I feel like I should be doing this. So basically you create a fake personality. And if you're lucky, then you only put it on sometimes. But if you're unlucky, you wear it all the time and you don't even realize you have it until you realize that you're autistic, and then you're like, ah, fuck. I didn't realize I was doing that. And then you have to relearn how to be honest and authentic without hurting people's feelings, which is hard. It's hard to do when you still have your own autistic brain that doesn't say things in a way that allistic people find comforting, or doesn't do things that allistic people find comforting. Because I don't want to make people uncomfortable with my actions. That's why I made the mask in the first place. But now knowing that I have it, I gotta let go of that. I don't want to be walking around in a mask. I want to be walking around like autistic Bryce, capital A, capital B. That's what a mask is. It's walking around all the time, reacting to situations inside of your head authentically, and then before presenting them, as I think most people do, without a ton of reflection or thought in the moment, there's this deep and very fast and very exhausting overview of all of the different ways that people in general respond, and then it's your choice as an autistic person to choose the right one. Have you ever played like a game? Sims is like this sometimes, where one of the characters is having a conversation with maybe like an NPC or even another character in the game, and you have like you're having a conversation, you have like an option, like throw him into the well or choose to go on the adventure. And that's kind of what being autistic looks like. It's like every single interaction is like all of these buttons, but there's like a right one. Or at least there's one that's gonna make people feel more comfortable, historically, from my lived experience. And then there's who I actually am, what I actually want to do, what I actually want to say. And that usually falls outside of the realm of what's considered comfortable or normal or okay, or maybe even safe. So that's a mask. And learning you have a mask, and that, because everyone has a little bit of a mask, obviously, but learning that you're doing it constantly, does it start to explain why you get so exhausted all of the time. Like, you have to think so much. You have to think so much. Leads to a lot of burnout, which we will talk about in another video. But so, hello everyone. If you've been wondering what an autistic mask is, I hope that was a short little explanation while watching me be really cold. It's really hard to have to pretend all of the time. If you don't do that, I'd like you to maybe take a second and think about what that would be like. Shit sucks. But okay, that's an autistic mask. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's called I'm autistic and the world doesn't like me, so I made a costume to put on for walking around in the world with. And now I'm taking that shit off. A little bit, because I still like being courteous and nice and that kind of thing. I love you guys. I love when you take the time to watch my videos. It means a lot, because there are just so many terms out there that are really easy to learn, but if you're never introduced to them, you don't know the words. Don't know what you don't know. I hope this is helpful. I love you guys, and I'm really happy the sun's out. Okay. Bye. I hope my ass isn't wet.